Hello and welcome to Capital Market Live from Channels Television, where you can get an in-depth analysis of how your stocks performed for the week. I'm Will Ibang. Let's get a quick summary of the market close for major indexes on the global scene. Now we say the European indexes closed higher with all sectors and major bourses in positive territory. The gains were led by financial services and mining stocks. This comes after a reversal of momentum in the previous session. Now, Eurozone inflation showed a sharp slowdown, with October's year-on-year inflation reading coming in at 2.9% when compared to 4.3% in September. Meanwhile, in Asia, Hong Kong stocks led declines. E-commerce giant Alibaba shares slid following results in which it said it would not proceed with the full spin-off of its cloud group in light of U.S. chip export restrictions. Now in the U.S., stocks fell slightly on Friday. Markets have been boosted by soft readings for October's inflation and the producer price index, which raised hopes that inflation could finally be coming down and staying down. And also, although the U.S. and also that the U.S. Federal Reserve's tough monetary policy regime could be over. Now, the drop in the U.K. and U.S. inflation data were driven by a decline in energy prices and a moderation in the cost of food. Now, back home, the bullish trend persisted for a third consecutive week in the equities markets, with investors showing interest in bellwether stocks. We saw MTN Nigeria, which was up 2.5%. Seplat and Airtel Africa also propelled the all-share index to a 0.37% increase to close at 71,112 points. The month-to-date and year-to-date returns also rose. We saw 0.4% and 38.8% respectively. Now, trading activity, however, was weak, with total volume traded and value decreasing by 19.9% and 39% each. Sectoral performance was also mixed, with gains observed in oil and gas, insurance, and consumer goods indexes. There was a decline in industrial goods index, and banking index remained a bit unchanged. Now, Deep Capital topped the gainers chart for the week. Liqueur Industries also featured on that top three list, while Japol Gold led the losing stocks. The trio of Japol Gold, Fidelity Bank, and Jay's Bank topped trades by volume. Now we have in the studio Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting, and Mukhtar Mohammed, CEO, Finance with Mukhtar. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So we've seen the bullish trend in the markets. The equities is on the run, 71,000 level and 39 trillion naira for the market cap. It's like the high is not coming down anytime. So we pray it doesn't come down soon. But the market definitely will go into a correction, as many have said. But we've seen some stocks really standing out. There are some outliers. There have been some outliers in the market. We've seen Japol Gold doing so well, and we've also seen Liqueur, which just listed on the NGX, doing so well. So talking about Japol Gold, it started off when he came out with his earnings in September. It was at about 98 kobo. Now it's closed today at 1.70 kobo. Mukhtar, I'm going to start with you. What are your thoughts about Japol Gold and how it has performed so far?
Well, surprise, that's what I would say. Yeah. Because when you look at companies in that sector, they've been really hit in terms of FX revaluation, and if what Japol Gold is into is anything to go by. So it's really a big surprise that they've done this well. Again, it's a penny stocks, so definitely it's a very volatile stock, a hot stock, especially for people like Ambrose that are traders. They've been the one that have enjoyed Japol Gold so much, because for me, the fundamentals are still a little bit weak. People are still looking at, and you're looking at a pedigree in terms of what they want to do. That's why a lot of people are investing in it. You're looking at Japol Gold, so we are going into mining, or may come to raise capital to get into mining. And again, that reminds me of when they came before now. They came in that they were going to be into oil, they were going to get some vessels, and they did a right issue, they did the private issues. And investors have not really enjoyed in terms of dividend payout from Japol Gold. In terms of capital appreciation, you won't say they really enjoyed, because this was, unless those that have participated in it when it was 20 kobo, that's why people like Ambrose. Other investors that have really invested in that company have not really seen value for their money, because at the time, I think in sometime 2008, Japol Gold, I think they were bought about 6 naira or thereabout. So it's still a long way to go. I mean, then it was just called Japan. So in as much as I think diversification into the mining sector is good, but again, you need to look at the challenge when it comes to the mining sector. If you look at the Northeast, that's where it's supposed to be the hotbed of mining in Nigeria. The crises are still there. So I'm waiting and watching and looking and saying, wow, let me see where it goes from here. But as I stand here, and again, one thing again about the market is that anytime there's a right issue, there's a public issue, there's one thing coming, you just see the stock just move, and then all of a sudden, suspended. And by the time they leave the suspension, then the stock starts maintaining its value by going down. So if you look at the antecedents.
I'm going to quickly take Ambrose's reaction here. If we could quickly have the Japan Gold's earnings there. What do you think about Japan Gold? Do you share his opinion, or very quickly, what do you think about Japan Gold?
It's an investor. We traders in the market, we can enter any stock that can give us value, because we're in the market to create wealth for ourselves. And you see opportunity like Japan coming down as low as 20 as I just said, and you see volume overnight coming back, it sends a signal. Because if you're investing in capital market, you don't have to use your volume to take decision. That means you are still learning. Once you see volume change, that means like attention toward that. You now take opportunity. And now we have said from the figure that came, it's a sign that they are abandoned. And yes, how are they going? Well, that's what we're looking at. And also, for them to come for primary market activity, that means the company cut out another business they want to go into. That shows that investors that want to invest, I only advise that don't invest in Japan today to get return today. If you are thinking medium and long in Japan, because of where they are going, the new sector they are facing, the mining and all those stuff, I believe that there's value there, but for long term. But for traders that have entered Japan, even though at 90 kobo, and able to exit the market at 2 naira, 1 kobo, you make good money. I know I entered Japan myself around 89 kobo. I sold at 1 naira 92 kobo. I made money, but it touched as high as 2 naira 1 kobo. For me, there is value there. But now that it's pulling back, it's an opportunity for those that have missed the first rally to wait and look for what is strong support level and come back. These are stocks that agree more. Like you just said, penny stocks are too volatile, but you have to invest with knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, I tell you, make money at any given time.
What about their EPS? They didn't declare any dividend now. But what about their EPS? Do you think they made any growth in that area?
No, in terms of their first quarter, second quarter, 2023, we have seen that there's a growth from first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter. That shows that they are going somewhere. But this is not a point that will pay dividend at the end of this current financial year. But because we are seeing activities that company where they are going, and also if the government is serious, the way they divide the economy into trying to like get another revenue for the government, that means they're going to put attention into mining business. That will also give them edge, because being a corporate body, that I think this is where the first people that are going to be given a license, because these are not Chinese, these are not people that are coming from back door. If they approach the government and give a license, they go to Ekiti State, go and do mining there, and they make money because B2s, all of them are there. For me, I see that there's potential for Japan, but not for short-term positioning. Think medium and long-term Japan. I think you are not in a bad place.
Okay, so Mukhtar, let me just come back to you. I want to talk about Mikio. Those two stocks really did well. Mikio just yesterday released their third quarter earnings report, and we saw that phenomenal. At least it was not bad for pharmaceutical sector. But what do you think about this leap? Listing at 2 naira 96 kobo and currently at 5 naira 75 kobo. Do you think it can be sustained? Do you think it's just temporal? Or what do you think about Mikio? What are the sentiments investors have for this stock?
One thing, when you're investing in the stock market, it's not a straight line.
Yeah.
So when you see things like that, look, I'm a student of history when it comes to the capital market. So we've seen things like this happen and happen all over again, especially when they are listed at the way they're listing, and now we are waiting for them to come for maybe initial public offer or right issue, or I don't know which one they want to do. So whichever one they come up with, then you realize that sometimes this movement is as a result of trying to fix the price at a particular issue and making investors feel that immediately invest based on that price, you're already making profit. But then you look at the numbers and you look at, sometimes the numbers can be very deceptive. But sometimes the number, like Andrew will say, data doesn't lie. Okay, but again, when you look at the sector they are into business, when the numbers are not corresponding with what they are into, then you begin to ask yourself questions. Because you're talking about the pharmaceuticals sector. It's one of the huge sectors in Nigeria at this moment. I can give some little stock that have moved from a penny stock. Today they are spending at the height of 67 at the means of the serious health crisis at the time we had the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Mikio is into diagnostics, which is huge business, huge, and they are one of the leading diagnosis center in Nigeria. They've been in the business for a very long time. So when you look at that business, by what they are projecting to the market, then you are excited that finally we'll have a big player in that sector coming into the market. But again, like I said, student of history, we shouldn't forget that there was one Union Diagnosis that came into the market with the same info, the same pre-degree as today. They are nowhere to be found. So we need, you need to, when you study the market, you look at the numbers like Ambrose do, look at the trading. You cannot be like Ambrose to be able to make money, because Ambrose is a trader. He has the number. He follows the number. He follows the volume. But if you are an investor and you want to invest in a particular stock, you begin to look at the fundamentals. Traders don't look at the fundamentals. They look at the value. But an investor look at the fundamental going forward. So definitely if I look at the fundamental, as it stands now, the fundamentals look good, but not very strong. But we need to see them bring more numbers. Just third quarter is not enough. It's not enough. Let's see. Maybe subsequent to us. Let's see what will happen. The normal is they tell you that for you to see a good company in the Nigerian stock market or any etc., must have released its 5 years earnings. And by that time, you can begin to compare the data and begin to do the mathematics and say, look, there is value in this stock. But for now, we've just seen just a quarter, third quarter. Let's see what's in the fourth quarter. Because sometimes when this company comes to the market, they give us fantastic results. Then after some time, you start seeing the losses. And you begin to ask yourself, where is this losses coming from? All of that. So, like I said, student of history.
So, Ambrose, I see you agree with Mukhtar there, but what were your thoughts?
No, not agree, but you have made the daily point that investors should also be guided with one point. But I would say that in the industry, like you just mentioned, that this was on board before now, but they left the market, or we're seeing a bigger player coming. Or investors just be carried away with the earnings result in the 9 months results that came. Yes, good EPS of 50 kobo for a stock that is selling around 573 kobo. For me, it's a good one compared to the life of fixing. Fixing have been in the market for a long time. Moved from as low as 4 naira to almost 15 naira. The earnings for third quarter is about 1 naira 56 kobo. That of me and Baker already is about 41 kobo, and that of GSK is almost more one around 29 kobo. And for me, the share in issue for Mickey is about 4 billion shares, and he's the highest in that industry. About that of fixing is about 2.9 billion, while that of America is about 1.8 billion. For me, it's a good one. It's coming up. But one thing again is that our regulators, I won't say they are sleeping or they are just sitting on the chair and running the front and back. I don't know. For a company to come to the Nigerian Stock Exchange to come and do list with just share in issue 4 billion, and why the float in the market is about just 2.45. No, it's a slap on investor, because that means the stock is in the few of the people that came to list it. Then how will you have access? Then moving from the 2 naira and 6 kobo to 5 naira, it's not surprise because it's not available in the market. And go and check the volume that move the price. They are between 100,000 to 250,000 shares, because in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, once the stock can do 100,000 shares, 100,000 shares a day, you can change price. And for that, they are using to move the price from as low as, I mentioned, 2 naira and 6 kobo to this position. It's not because of the value, because the share is not available. And that is why our regulators think whether they are sleeping, because for you to approve such, it doesn't mean that. Why will that is why most of the companies on the exchange, like the life of Boa, life of Dangote, you see all of them, their float is not there, but those are the going to update every year that, we'll meet up. Well, this is a new one listing. You are allowed not to open for 2.4 to 2.5 no float. For me, it's a slap on investor and also the market regulators.
And when you look at those 100,000, they are cross dealing. That's a shocking thing. Is one investor moving it? I mean, the people that are bringing it, crossing it over. We are not seeing those that it was purchased by primary market operator one. So that is also helping the price movement, because what it does is that because it's not available in a particular house, you have somebody that has it that then the person wants to sell. Instead of you putting it primarily in the market, you cross it over.
That's why it has been on full bid, and people are not the supply.
It's not available now.
It's not available for investors.
Let it be on bid.
So we just say, be careful, make your stocks available for investors.
And also, if you look at the names of those that are the major shareholders, these are family names. Wife, daughter, and husband. These are the four. No, I only want. I saw Indians name there and two Nigerians there. But you should ask questions too. Yeah, they are here to make money. But let's sit well. Investors should be very wise this time, because also the regulators should defend or protect investors. Especially that is the work of SEC. So you know that investors in Nigeria are protected. These are the things that happen in the market, and you look the other side. It's not fair to Nigerian investors.
So definitely, investors should trade wisely, and the SEC should protect investors' interest at this moment. So we'll take a quick break now. Capital Market continues right after the break. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Nigerian Exchange, NGX, put together an investor education program themed Equipa, Financial Literacy and Inclusion for Women's Economic Growth. Equipa is a pioneering initiative of the NGX Regulation Limited with a mandate to promote market development focused on empowering women and promoting inclusive growth in Nigeria's vibrant equity market. Let's take a listen.
Equipa basically rests on three pillars. The first thing is that there should be awareness for women about the products and the capacity of the capital market for them to become economic agents through investing in the capital market. The second thing is to build their capacity. So after you are aware about the capital market, what capacity do you have to actually participate in it? Because as you are aware, if you just run in, you don't know what to do, you don't know who to use, you don't have any strategy. Just as you ran in, you will run out.
We are confident that this is one of the measures that women can be supported in getting involved in, for them to be formally brought into financial services, for them to also build their resilience. Now, typically when we look at financial inclusion for low-income women and women-led MSMEs, we always think about the usual solutions like savings, credit, insurance, payments, pensions, but there is one particular aspect which needs to receive more attention, and Equipa by NGX Reg Co enables that focus on investing to be emphasized on, and we are very supportive of this initiative, because if we have more low-income women and women-led MSMEs able to invest in the stock market easily and at the right time, we are sure their resilience will be built and they can grow their wealth.
Now, that is a program put together by the NGX, supported by the Women's World Banking. You know, we're just trying to bring more women into the financial sector, especially the equities market. And this was put together on Friday by the NGX to ensure that women are included in the financial sector, the equities market. So what are your thoughts? Do you think women are, Ambrose, let me start off with you. Do you think women very quickly are involved, very much involved in the trading equities market?
Yeah, we're seeing women coming up recently in the market, because now, no, you are not leaving your family to run alone by your husband. Now we're seeing people trying to grow wealth to support the family, and also like the economy like Nigeria, you need to also have source of income. For men, it's good that they are coming in. Also, you look at the professional aspect of it, the trade part of it, look at the numbers of men as stockbrokers in Nigeria, that dominate female in that field. You know, coming up with this, that will encourage more women to go into that profession and also be trading. And also people that are sitting back home that are doing other business, earning and also sending some of their money on errand. Because I tell people that if you're a business woman or man and you're making money, let's say for example 2 million every month, and you're putting back your 2 million back to your business to expand it, good, it's a very good. The day something will hit your business, will ground to the floor. But if you are sending some part of your money and errand that we are not involved, that this investment is becoming more important for women. Send that part to that market and invest wisely in good stocks. And when anything happens, you fall back. And also when you also make gain from that and bring back to business, you see you are living the world, you are growing your wealth. For me, it's a good idea. But I think also to encourage the youth, not only the women, let's go down to the youth. Because I tell you, numbers of youth we have in Nigeria, if they are trained and also training market, with just 50,000 naira, they are involved. I'll tell you, the market will be as hot as more than this. Because if you look at mature economy like Asia, where you see that the premium of cryptocurrency, those sides you don't see them complaining because youth are involved. In Nigeria, yeah, we're all looking at to do cryptocurrency also to look at what is happening there for the elite. Let's bring it down to the youth. Okay. Let's educate Nigeria how to play the market. Let's do our own local market first, because I think that is where, if you're involved here, we're trading here, about 200 million Nigerians. How many of us are in the market? Less than 15 million in the market. For me, it's a very small portion that I play in the market.
Mukhtar, you've played a long time in the market. Do you think the NGX is bringing this a little too late or is too early?
No, nothing is no good policy is too late. I
exactly.
think it's okay. They are bringing them in. Just to add up, it's not the women have been involved in the financial sector. At a point, we had 3 banking chairmen were women, and I mean, at a point we have First Bank. The chairman of First Bank was a woman. The chairman of Access Bank, woman. The chairman of GTCO, woman. So now we have 2 of them. So definitely, I mean, the women are not left out, and not to forget that the CEO of Fidelity Bank is even a woman. So, and they are not doing badly. So bringing in more women to that space is good, but I can say that the women are already playing that space.
Oh, that's fantastic. So globals, if you look at the US, earnings reports is earnings season for them. But we're still having someone is asking a question. Let me just very quickly, we have people talking to us via WhatsApp. Say, Osemo Bob Bright is asking that corporate earnings not reflecting reality of the economy. Why and what is the cause? I think I should leave. Mukhtar, can you?
Well, like I normally say, the stock market has a life of its own.
Exactly.
But again, to sustain the kind of growth you see in the market, it has to take the life of the economy after some time. It's just like if you have a good road from your house, at a point you are enjoying that road network, and after you leave your house, all of that roads are bad. There will come a time that it will affect you because you are coming from the bad route. But at the beginning, it seems like you were just doing very well. So naturally, what's happening to the economy now is that a lot of people, the market, those in the companies in the market are doing well. A lot of factors are involved. There are some that are not doing well. You can say the ones that are into the FX revaluation are not doing, those that are into FX business, the construction, the consumer goods sectors. The financial sector seems to be the one doing well because of the FX revaluation. So definitely, it will come a point whereby you can't separate the economy from the market. The barometer of measuring how big your economy is, how well your economy is performing, is by the stock market. That is why the world richest men are not based on their individual wealth. It's based on the wealth that are listed, public wealth. Okay. So it will come a point whereby the market must reflect the economy.
Okay.
But for now, I think the stock market has its life of its own, but it will come to that point. If the economy is continue to be this, the perception comes in, and you see it.
Okay, so I'm going to take another question from Vincent Oshoma. It says, with the current, and Ambrose, you're going to be taking this, it said, with the current high inflation environment and fiscal challenges, what will be investors' reaction with respect to end-of-year activities?
Every end of the quarter or end of especially the last quarter of the year, there's always seasonality that comes with it. I like the question, but despite inflation is up, there are some investment windows that are already in red position. We are seeing equity market being active now because people are moving their funds from that investment that is in red position, the real returns, to where there's what real value. Because if your investment is giving you 16%, return on a year, and inflation is already at 27.33, you're already in red position. But now equity market is above what that 27.33. As at yesterday, it closed about the index alone returned about 38.8% for index. That's the individual stock in the market that returned about 100% return. For me, going to equity for them, they see that even there is come of an increase in terms of yield in other instruments. Of course, the equity there is what is driving equity. What earnings, like Mukhtar just said, earnings speaks a lot in an environment. Despite there's a discussion between the economy today and the earnings. But look at when we had issue of COVID-19. The economy was running on its own, market was running on its own. The market told me because it was running on oil prices then. Oil was going up, our market was returning back. Even when it touched 11 years low that period. But now today, because for the past 4 years, market has maintained that position. And for me, that is where people are looking to. But now market has sustained 4 years to almost 5 years uptrend. It is also a time for investors to also be looking at how can we also diversify at this point to mean that we're not only edging against inflation, but edging against what? Downturn.
Okay, well, very quickly, let's take the next question because we're almost running out of time. Is what are your expectations for the next MPC meeting with regards to tackling the myriads of currency and economic challenges? Mukhtar?
Same of same.
Yes,
same of same, because they're already excited that their policy is working. We can see them. That's what immediately NGX released that. That's what we heard from some of us. So it's going to be same of same. Maybe you see interest rate will go up. Copy and paste.
At this time,
like what your report said, the people we are copying and pasting from, their inflation is going down. But we are copying and pasting. Inflation is going up. So we need to look for an homegrown solution to our problem. Our major challenge, the CBN knows, anybody knows, and we are just playing lip service to it. Our major challenge as it stands now is FX volatility. Address FX volatility, you would have addressed inflation. Because most of the things we are eating, we are bringing in from
imported inflation.
So that's the major challenge. If we are able to address FX volatility, you will see inflation will naturally take its position. So all these copy and paste measure. Let's look at our own and begin to do it. Not because Bank of England and they raise hike, you come here, you raise hike, and you are not looking at your own variable, buy their own variable. They've been raising rate for a while now. What has happened now? The inflation is going down. We have been raising rate for about 18 months now, or thereabout, and it is still going higher. They said we'll close the year at 30. So, like Ambrose have said, so if you are an investor, you want to hedge against inflation, then you need to come to the stock market, because the stock market will give you 8% because they're already in 38%. So that's the only place.
Yes, I know we're run out of time. Very, very quickly, what do you see investors trading in one sentence, one word? What's your outlook for this week? What should investors look out for? Stocks for investors to look out for?
Yeah, for stock, let them look towards the banking sector because they are having good earnings there. Despite the CBN said they should not use the FX gain, but cost of the banks are not in terms of their net interest impacting their bottom line. For me, it's a good one. But I believe that this week we expect to see a mixed trend reaction toward the outcome of MPC meeting.
Mixed trend for investors and trading. Thank you so much, Mukhtar Mohammed, CEO Finance with Mukhtar, and Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting, for joining us on Capital Market and sharing your insights.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And that's it on Capital Market. Do join us same time next week. Don't forget, you can watch this again on our Channels Television page on YouTube. Also follow us on our other social media platforms to get updates. And Will Ibang is bye-bye for now.